One of the other things that was mentioned in the report is that most people have no idea like what the success actually looks like in their job. So like they don't know what's expected and so on, right? And so when people don't have clarity, they're less likely to be engaged. However, what are some things that you can do to have that clarity, even if you don't know what that's not coming from your manager, is you can actually map out where does your role, looking at the trajectory, your career trajectory historically at this particular company. Where do typically people start in your role? Where do they end up? Like, what does that look like, right? And if you see that there's not a really clear trajectory in your particular company, then there could be different reasons for that. It could be because the company's small, could be that because the specific particular department or the role is, just kind of being outdated, maybe it's shifting. Nonetheless, it will give you that information. It's like, is there a future in this role? If not, like, where do I need to pivot, right? Or maybe I really like this career path and I know that actually in other companies this career path looks a lot different because I've done my research and maybe I asked around and I talked to people who are in those roles in different industries, in different companies, right? So again, doing your own research, taking accountability, right? So that will give you some insight of like where to pivot or what additional skills you need to make that pivot. And it will also give you ideas of like, oh, actually, I didn't realize this career has this way that it can go, right? It's not just this way. There's so many different elements to it that I can actually pivot into. All of these things, just being curious and being future focused, will actually give you the information you need, right? And again, like if according to Gallup, like a lot of people are disengaged because there's no clarity of where the career is going. And frankly speaking, like, should you have that clarity? Yes. But again, we focus on ourselves. We focus on things we can control. So by doing this, by staying curious and doing your own research, understanding where your career might potentially grow into, this will really, really help you stay engaged in your role because you are going to be so much more informed and by default, hopefully engaged.